Okay, let me scoot up a little more, just a little more. Okay, so this is going to be, you know, whatever. I hate calling it get ready with me because I ain't going nowhere. I'm just getting ready to talk to y'all and put on some fucking makeup. But anyway, I'm going to be playing with the Ace Beaute Oceanic Vibe. Did I say vibe? Let's do that again. The Ace Beaute Oceanic Palette. I should make it do like this. We'll see what happens since I'm playing with editing. But I'm really not planning on editing this a lot. So anyway, let's get started. So I'm putting on my makeup. We're going to talk a little, have a little conversation. Would love to hear your thoughts on what I'm about to talk about. So feel free to leave me all kinds of stuff in here. Okay, so I'm looking here and I'm trying to decide what I want to do, but let's just talk a little bit. I think I'm going to start. I had this in my head. What did I say I was going to do? What did I say I was going to do? Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to start out with this one color, which is Bali. All right, so what I wanted to talk about today is Sephora, SZA, and is the beauty community really that concerned about inclusivity, or is it just talk, you know, to be relevant? So let's discuss it. Let's discuss it a little bit. Now, this is the first time I'm using this palette, of course, because I just got it the other day. I did do the swatches. So if you would like to see how this swatches, you know, there is a video of it. Well, there's a live of me swatching it live so you can see the colors. All right, so anywho, so let's talk about this. So now, I don't know, the reason why I'm really talking about it is because I find it quite interesting that I really haven't heard about it on YouTube. So this is what I'm going to talk about. So if you are unaware, the singer SZA, SZA, I just found out how to say her name, and I've listened to a few of her things, was in Sephora in Calabasas back in April. And she was racially profiled, and they followed her around the store, and they accused her of stealing. So it came out because she did a tweet about it on her, you know, social media, on her Twitter. And like, of course, I would not hear about this because I'm not big on Twitter. I have a Twitter. I don't really use it. So, you know, I'm not all that up on it. Okay. So now let's just say how pretty these are. Okay. So somebody said I have really good eye real estate. I think I have decent. I've seen some I'm like, damn, that's really nice. But anyway, but I do have a decent amount. So no complaints. All right. So anyway, she does this tweet about how she was racially profiled, how they, kind of followed her around the store and accused her of stealing. Now, girlfriend is a semi-celebrity, you know, was coming there to spend her money, she said buy her Fenty. Okay, but here's the thing that I find interesting. So now Sephora has announced that they're going to close their stores on today, the day I'm filming, June 5th, to do some training and, you know, about diversity and inclusivity. And they put out this whole, you know, thing, you know, this whole statement about, you know, beauty is for everyone and blah, 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 blah. Now, the reason why I'm giving y'all that look is because then I found out that it wasn't that they were going to be closed all day, which I thought, you know, because, you know, training like that should take all day, right? Shouldn't we be going through some type of, and it's not just about women of color, black women. It's about women of all. And I think the inclusivity training should not just have been about black women or Hispanic women. It should have been about ageism, things like that. Inclusivity, to learn how to deal better with your customers in an inclusive way. Because, you know, we've talked about it as like older women, they have a tendency to, poo-poo you off unless you're coming in like, you know, with a designer bag and you're fixed up, I guess. Then they'll give you some you know, they'll give you attention. But just walking in, like a lot of times I walk in with no makeup on because I'm coming to try damn makeup on, and I get like very little service and everything. So besides that, let's talk ageism. Let's just talk all the isms. They should have been dealing with all of the isms to make sure that their staff is better, is a better place, not, they're better people in the workplace. Now, of course, Sephora cannot govern the personal beliefs and thoughts about their employees, and it is not that's not what they have to do. But my thing is this: they should have pulled them tapes, and those people should have been now I don't know, maybe they have been reprimanded. I would assume they have, because Sephora is a smart company. You know, they've been doing this for a long time. Maybe they did you know, did a little bit of reprimanding. Who knows? I don't know. I can't say they did that. All right. But to make this big announcement that you're going to do some inclusivity training, you're going to close for the, and what I saw said close for the day. Now, what I found out was they were going to be closed. They were going to be opening later. So maybe an hour later. So let's say they had them come in early. Maybe it was like a 2 or 3 hour training on inclusivity. Next, we're going to do seagrass right here. Yeah, they did a, you know, we're going to get y'all together for, you know, a few hours. And we're going to have donuts. And we're going to talk about inclusivity. And we're going to do some little role playing. I'm sure that's how it went. That's how it always does. You know, I mean, that's that type of training. Now, besides that, my question is, how come people on YouTube, how come the beauty community is not talking about it? Now, the other thing is, now after this, and I will put up the tweets and everything. I'll go find them before I post this up. Leslie Jones, who was on Saturday Night Live, tweeted just recently about how she sent her makeup artist and her friend or something went to Sephora in New York and were treated very badly, and apparently the makeup artist was crying. Now let me give this one. I just think that's some extra shit right there. If girlfriend was crying, I'm gonna assume she was crying because she was so mad. I'm gonna give her tears of anger, not tears of upset, not tears like my feelings are hurt. I don't need that. I don't need you to be doing that kind of teary-eyed shit. I need you to be pissed off tears. So maybe I'm gonna get them pissed off tears, because that's the way my tears would be. No, this motherfucker didn't act this way toward me. Okay? No, this motherfucker didn't act this way toward me. That's what I better hear. So, oh my God, this green is beautiful. So let me say so the thing to me is interesting. It's not just that this happened and that Sephora, you know, is calling themselves dealing with it, whatever. But the beauty community has not spoken on this. You know, everybody can rush to do a VIB sale recommendation and do a, you know, Sephora haul and everything. But when it comes down to this, everyone was silent. All colors were silent. All women of every color were silent on this. Our beauty, you know, people or whatever were silent. I find it quite interesting, considering we talk about inclusivity, but we're always talking about it in reference to foundation shades. You know, everybody wants to talk about it in reference to foundation shades, you know, things like that. But this is the kind of thing we need to be discussing too. Not just about the colors about makeup, but how we look at each other as women and men in makeup. You know, how we treat each other. What do we think of each other as people, and how we can be better as people. So I think that I find it interesting, because when it came down to true issues of inclusivity, of diversity, of profiling, everybody's quiet about that. No one's touching it. Everybody's like, ooh, nothing happened. Ooh, I don't know what's going on. I don't understand it. Because that's just like, to me, that's more important than us talking about the shade range of Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and things. This conversation needs to be had. And it needs to be had, and it needs to be had in an honest way. And when I say that, I need people that are not, who never dealt with racial profiling. Stop telling people that do deal with racial profiling that we're that they're exaggerating and they're making too much of it. If you never experienced that, allow for the people who have to have their voice and to say, I can, I don't necessarily, I've never experienced it, but I am going to but I am not going to discount what happens. I've been racially profiled. I'm sure every woman of color, and I don't just mean black women, but almost every woman of color at some point has been racially profiled for whatever reason. But, and so I find it interesting that nobody in the beauty community was even talking about it. I mean, like I said, I just found out about it, because if I had known about this earlier, we would have been talked about it. We'd have had a whole live about it. But I decided to do this way so I could just do my little dialogue, and then you all can come back and tell me what your thoughts are on this. What do you think about this? Do you think that this kind of thing, and let's be honest, is not just to happen one time or two times. It happens a lot. The question is, are they taught these things? This could be, of course, personal bias. And I'm not saying that this is a company-wide decision and Sephora's like, yeah, if you see a black woman, you follow her around, she gonna steal from you. I'm not saying Sephora said that, but I'm just saying as a community, we're concerned about color, shade ranges and colors that we put on people's skin, but we aren't concerned about the people and those type of things and how it affects us. And let's have a real conversation, an honest dialogue about those type of things that happen in our world. I'm gonna take Lagoon, this deep blue, I'm gonna deepen up this corner and see how this works. Ooh, yes, mama. Yes, mama. Yeah, so, give me your thoughts on it. Now I'm building this up, so I'm taking it really slow because I don't want it to be too dark. I just want a little darkness right at the edge. I want this to come up right here. Now I am having issues where my eyes, and so far so good, this eye has not been watering because it has been very watery for the last couple of days. Okay. And yeah, so those are, my thoughts on it and everything. And I would just love to hear what you think about it. What do you think about the way that Sephora is handling it? See, here's what I think. I think that it shouldn't just be a one day, we're going to close up for a few hours and we're going to have this inclusivity training. They should honestly say, we are starting a program within our company and this will not be tolerated. And if, and when we hear about these things that have been done, those employees will be dealt with accordingly, because every woman, man that comes in this store should feel as important as the other. And that's where I think they should, you're going to give us a little slogan and you're going to, do some kind of training for a day, when this should be ongoing and it should be a campaign. And I think that's the way they should deal with it, and really come forward and say, and when we hear about these things, and if this is, we will deal with these people, with these employees, because we do not believe in this. We do not believe in treating any customers crazy. Okay. Let me darken this one up a little more, because I got this one really dark. Okay. And I'm trying not to pull too much on the side, because my eyes have been watering, so I know if I, mess with it too much, it's going to get irritated. Okay, I'm kind of liking it so far. We're liking it. Yeah, and so, and I would be, and here's what I would do if I was Ulta. I would start a campaign. I would do something like that. I would step forward and say, you know, we want to make sure that we are at the forefront of this conversation. You know, you can spin it and make it work. And the reason why I have a problem with the spin is because what, y'all gonna teach people to be better people and treat people better in 2-3 hours? Yeah, okay. But I do say that, you know, it does make me think how everybody, no one has talked about this. Is it because, you know, we want to stay on Sephora's good side? Because, you know, Sephora is Sephora and people love to go there and buy their makeup and, you know, be on Sephora's good side and, you know, get maybe some product for them, or, you know, get them to sponsor your videos or something, especially the larger ones. But here's what I would say. I'm not even concerned about the large ones. I'm concerned about the smaller ones, because smaller creators have a little more freedom, because we are not bound by dealing with these companies on a financial level at this point. You know, with, you know, some people, of course, with their dealings with these companies, it's on a financial, hell, they getting paid from these companies, so maybe you will shut the fuck up about some things. But as a smaller creators, I would have liked to have heard smaller creators, because like I said, I didn't know, but I know now. Now, of course, it's not going to change the way I feel about Sephora, because I was already saying I wasn't going to shop there. So it doesn't change my thoughts about Sephora. And to be quite honest, it is not Sephora's fault that these people act this way. This is who that person was. This is the culture in that store. And I'm sure there are other stores in the Sephora, you know, the Sephora, you know, whatever it's called, of shops. What do I want to say? Not, you know how you get stuff for a word. You know how you get stuff for a word. And they're, you know, they're whatever I'm trying to say in shops. You know, the bunch of shops they have. The bunch of shops they have that I cannot articulate right now, but at least I can say articulate, and that's a good thing. I don't know why I was about to put on there, because I'm trying to use this Revolution cut crease crap, and it's okay. It's not the best for me. It's just a little too wet. Okay. So, yeah, I would like to see more than a slogan and a announcement that we're gonna, you know, close up for a couple of hours early. And to be quite honest, it would have been so much more impressive if they had shut down for the day and done some serious, like, training that was like all day training. But like I said, I think if they're gonna do something like this, it should be more of a ongoing thing. It shouldn't just be this one day. They should be working on a campaign of inclusivity and, you know, and education of their employees and expectations of their employees to be better. Whew. Now, I don't put this stuff on. You see how green it is? Because the green on my lids. So yeah, it really didn't cover up as well as I would have liked it to. So let me see, can I find something to wipe this off with? I don't know where my things are. Okay, but I got another one. So that was one thing on my mind today as I, you know, put on this makeup. What else did I want to talk about? Because there was another conversation I wanted to have with you all. Another conversation. Now, I don't want to go green, but I think I'm going to have to, because this is green, and I'm going to let it dry down because I want to try it without setting it. I want to see how it does if I just let it dry down. You know, dry it down. Let's see. Let's see. Huh. Okay, so that was the biggest thing on my mind, you know, that I really wanted to get out. And then, you know, it's like, what are we teaching? The sad thing is that this is not going away. I guess it might be getting better, this whole the race relations. I think people try to pretend sometimes that they're okay, and matter of fact, I know they do. Shit, I'm old as fuck. I know people, you know, fake it, like, you know, they're very liberal and, you know, oh, I love everybody. Yeah, okay. This stuff is so tacky. I'm gonna take some of this off. Okay, so see how tacky it is? Ugh. Okay, so this is still green. I think I need to do this one. No, they're about the same. They're about the same. Okay, so now we're gonna use Mykonos right there. And we're gonna put that all over I was about to do the wrong damn thing. Okay, and then we're gonna put this all over the lid. Yeah. I'm gonna put this, I think I'm gonna put this on the inner lid. Oh, and that was dry. Woo, baby, she cute. And I'm actually gonna put some, I'm gonna spray the brush because I always want to see how it looks without being sprayed. That tells me the quality of the shimmers. So anyway, the school year is almost over. Well, let's talk about a little life. So the school year is almost over. And I have to say, I am extremely worn out. I am extremely worn out. These children have worn me out. It's like those last few weeks. If you are not in education and deal with this, you do not understand how worn out you are toward the end of the year. Those last week or two, it's so hard. And then the kids are so hard to maintain. And this is at almost any school because they're antsy. They're ready to go on their summer vacation, you know, and so they're just a hot mess. And then add on where I'm at, that's not helpful. The school I'm at, and the issues we have with fighting and everything. But oh, okay, I kind of like her. What do you think? Okay, and then but yeah, it's like you're at the end of the year, you are ready to get a break. You know, I really am a firm believer in the reasons why we have all these breaks in school, and it ain't for the kids, it's for us, the educators. I want to use this one. I think this would be really pretty. Marina, this one right here. I think I want to use that one. You know, because we need that time so we can recharge and be with your kids. That's what we got to do. Yeah, I think that'd be cute right at the edge. Now let's talk a little self-care. Since I'm nowhere near done with my face and I'm 24 minutes in. Oh my God, I'm 24 minutes in. I am 24 minutes in. I've just been rambling on and on. So let's get this done. All right. I'm going to do some off camera and then we'll come back and talk. But, you know how it is with me. So anyway, let's talk about self-care for a minute while I'm finishing this up. I just ordered up all these bath bombs and everything for the bath, for my big bathtub in my new place. Because, you know, you get a big bathtub, you have got to use it like that, right? It's a must. You have got to take your tub, and you got to take that moment. And the reason why I did it, because it's really important that you take that moment. Now, somebody's asking me, how do you do that? You know, when you take baths like this, when you soak, you must shower before. Take a nice, cute, quick shower before you decide to soak. And then soak. Because somebody's like, oh, you're just soaking in your own juices. Honey, no, you wash yourself first. You're clean when you get in the water. Okay, let me just explain how a good soaking in a tub is about. You take a nice shower before you get in there. You take a shower. Let me say that again. You take a shower before you get in the water. For all the people who didn't know. So now I'm gonna take this color Bora, this beautiful bright blue, and I am going to put it in between to mix these two colors together and give them like a little border. So I'm gonna take that in between those to blend it. So I'm gonna take that to blend between the two. Give it like this nice pretty sweep of color right between those. And do that right there. Okay, so I'm gonna clean up my eyes and I'm gonna come back all made up, and then we will discuss for a hot minute, you know, what ended up on some other thoughts I have. All right, see you in a minute. All right, so here is the finished look on the eyes. And so let's just have a little minute to talk about, you know, inclusivity. It's a little hot in my room, but you notice that my fan matches my eyes, sort of. All right, so let's talk about just inclusivity for a minute. When it comes down to this, inclusivity should not just be about, you know, shade ranges and, you know, talk. Inclusivity must include everybody. It must include every shade of woman or man. It must include every age. You know, it must include every size, every person. So when we talk about inclusivity, I hope that we are going to start going beyond the superficial and really dig deep into it as beauty lovers and say that every beauty has a right to be seen, whether she is 25 or 20 with beautiful, young, supple skin, or 65, you know, or whether she's a size 2 or size 22, you know, whether it's a girl or a boy, or whether it's someone who, you know, does not fit the standards of beauty, the societal standards of beauty. Inclusivity must be more. And so I hope that Sephora and other places like that teach their, you know, their employees not to look beyond, and as we should look beyond that superficial and include everyone around us. All right, so let's slow it down and witness the beauty of this eye. All right, it's your Lulu. As always, be bold, be brave, be fearless, be free.